there, everybody. Eric from Our Limitless coming at you today at SHOT Show 2020. We are here at the Winkler booth. So Daniel, thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you.
Now, Winkler Knives, you have a sort of connection to a lot of military heritage, and you've been doing some work with them in the past. Now, my brother-in-law, he's actually an EOD bomb technician, and recently his entire group was outfitted with your Winkler Knives. I mean, you're not only making knives that are, you know, good for civilian use, but I mean, you're keeping people safe in this weird world we live in these days.
Well, that's true, and we take our work very seriously. I've been making knives for over 30 years now, and we had the opportunity to work with the military back during the first and second Gulf Wars, which kind of changed our business around from a full custom hand-forged one-of-a-kind business to where now we're accommodating the needs of the military and law enforcement, which translates very well to outdoorsmen and everyday use, but providing very high performance, unfailing equipment for these guys, and we try to do that very well.
Nice. So at this point, you're kind of a hybrid between your handmade and one-offs and your sort of more production line?
We are, and what we do is I spent many years developing high-performance techniques in manufacturing by doing one-of-a-kind pieces, and now, because I was able to set up the manufacturing facility to accommodate that knowledge and those practices, we can duplicate that performance in more of a production atmosphere. So now we're running about 16 people with Winkler Knives is how many we employ, including myself and Karen, and we stay very busy. And a lot of word of mouth out of the military and law enforcement communities, and now we are having the opportunity to branch out into the private sector where we can take the knife designs and functionality into a less combative sort of atmosphere, and they translate very well moving them over.
Ah, nice. And I'll tell you, I was actually mostly turned on to your knives from my buddy Joe. So quick little shout out. He's going to freak out when he sees this interview. So just quick little shout out to my buddy. But what we really want to look at here is you got some new stuff coming out for 2020. I hear there may be something in the works, a nice little survival knife.
Yeah, we've got a survival knife that we just introduced here at this show. I wanted to do something again that had the performance qualities of the other cutlery we're doing, but then with secondary purposes and usefulness. And along with that, I wanted to show our customers here at the SHOT Show what we go through to develop a new product, from design concept drawings through modeling and into the actual manufacturing of the finished working product. So this is a survival knife. In survival, you need to be able to build shelter, build a fire, gather food, and so we try to incorporate what we need for those practices into this knife. So as far as building a fire, the simplest, most effective method personally that I've ever used is a ferro rod and a little bit of 4/0 steel wool, because you prep your fire, you catch a few sparks in this, and now you've got something you blow into a hot enough flame to get a fire going in adverse conditions. So it's real simple. It goes into the handle, and the handle closes up, and on the sheath it's got the little screwdriver to where you can tighten down the bolt sets to hold the handle into place, and then you just use that when you need to build a fire. Along with this knife, for this introductory group that we're going to start with, we're going to do 100, and they're going to be serial numbered.
Nice.
And we're going to go either with the Sculpted G10 camo handle or the black micarta handle with the smooth finish, and we're also doing a black oxide finish and tumbling it after, so it's got a nice look about it.
Nice.
But they're also going to come with a video zip drive that shows the capabilities and what the different features and how they work.
Now, one of the things that I noticed right away, some of your knives don't have a very pronounced guard, but this one you've gone a little bit deeper in that ricasso area, and you give yourself a good amount of meat where your finger can index real secure.
Right. Well, my philosophy on knife design is be as minimalistic as possible, and a cross guard, which is nice and a safe handle design, but also sometimes it can limit your ability to carry and draw the knife cleanly and efficiently. And a lot of the people that we have developed knives for and other tools, they may need to get their knife out really quick. And so we develop it to where it's easier to get out and you don't have so much going on, but then we also want them to get comfortable with the use of it with just the finger drop, which and then the thumb grip on it, which gives you good purchase and does create a safe operation for the people that are handling it. I have nothing against the cross guards and some of the daggers that we do have that, and even some of the knives we do have, but we try to accommodate the carry systems again with those to make them where they're easy to access. The worst piece of gear you have in your kit is the one that stays on the shelf when you go out in the field.
Correct.
So we try to make it easy to carry.
So let me ask you real quick, with the spine here, do you find that that's sharp enough to do like some, a little scraping, a little fuzz, and that's what you're going to use when you take out your fire steel and actually do the sparking of that?
You sure can, and because and we leave the edges on the spine for that purpose. For me personally, I use it because it only takes one strike to build a fire with the steel wool. You don't have to sit and grind on it. That's a hard way to build a fire. But I use a little area right here at the beginning of the cutting edge, and that way I've still got the rest. If I damage it here, I've still got the rest of the cutting edge. Sure. And with the 2 lanyard holes on it now, if you needed to use it to make a spear or something, you've got lashing points to make it very secure. And all this will be covered in the video that comes as part of the knife package.
So one of the things that I see in your sort of build design, which I like, I've talked about this a number of times on my channel, the actual tang of the knife is raised above the scales. Now, I like the way it feels and I like the way it looks, and that's not sharp, it's soft, it's rounded out, it feels good in the hand. This index is just beautifully, and I think that just adds a little bit of a style, and it just adds to the overall features and characteristics of the knife.
Well, thank you. You're exactly right, and you have to make it comfortable to use, and so rounding that tang where the handle is part of that. And it doesn't have to be much, it just has to be enough to where it doesn't leave a hot spot and create issues when you're using a knife and you're running blisters or whatever problems might arise.
Beautiful work.
Okay, another new product that we're getting ready to release through the Winkler Knives website and offer to our dealers is we've been doing a pick for several years, but now we've changed a little bit and we're going to introduce a screwdriver pick. It still has the same personal protection capabilities as our standard pick, but now you also have it as a pry tool and you can use it as a screwdriver. But very, very handy, something you can easily clip on a pack or a vest. You can even wear it on a belt or inside the waistband if you want. And it's primarily we developed that as a personal protection weapon for law enforcement and military, where if somebody got right up in their face, they have something easy to access that they can take care of an issue.
Right.
So the screwdriver pick, and it's under $100 retail.
Is this like a rawhide leather that you use to wrap that?
It's a deer skin, and then we seal it with a waterproof adhesive, to where it's nice and secure, but it still has that nice leather feel. And people love the look of the wrap leather handle, so we transition that over from the regular pick.
No, that's beautiful. And I like too, the fact that you could actually piggyback ride this with your kydex on another knife if you wanted to, and it gives you that little flexibility and versatility with the system.
Right, and we set our attachment points to where you have a lot of different configurations for our carriers and our sheaths. We rotate it vertically or horizontally. We also have a drop loop system for this, and you can take it off and run a belt through the loop if you want to just put on a regular belt, or you can use the clip with a cloth grabber. So you got a lot of different carry methods. So many people have so many ways they want to carry it. We try to make it accommodating so they can be comfortable with it.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm seeing something about your sheath that you don't ever really get. You have hybridized this, so inside you almost made a welt. Is that a little leather in there?
That's exactly what it is. It's a micarta welt.
Okay.
And by doing the micarta welt, you make this sheath a little more rigid, and it accommodates the fit of the knife a little bit better, especially when you got a heavier knife, something with some thickness to it, like the new Survival Striker. And so we've started working with this welted kydex, and it's given us new directions we can go on the sheath systems.
Nice. No, beautiful, man. Well, Very cool. I think that's a great looking blade. I mean, obviously beautiful, well crafted, right in my style. I mean, that's hitting that perfect size range for a good quality, suitable wilderness survival blade. So nice work.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure talking with you, and keep up the good work.
I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your show.
All right. Thank you.